SkinnyGPanda here, and you know what today is. It's whatchamacallit Wednesday. It's gear review day. So let's get to it and see what we're going to review on today. Got my blindfold. Let's undo the box. All right, let's get into it. And here's the item that we have today. All right, that's the item that we pulled. Let's get down deeper and see what we have for you today. All right, so today's item that we pulled is the MSR Stove. So this kit I got when I was first starting out in backpacking hiking. I have never really had to cook meals out on a trail before. I mean, I glamped as a kid. With glamping, we had a stove inside of an RV. Or the most I would do with cooking meal is marshmallows, or if you know them, they are mountain pies in the fire with my parents growing up. So this is the first stove kit that I've ever bought and have been using, and I really enjoy this, and I do feel that this is a really good starting beginner method when you are cooking your meals for the first time out on a backpacking hiking trip. So the MSR does have a plastic carrying case with it, and this stove does fit in here comfortably. So it's really nice for a storing method. One of the good things about this stove kit is the propane tank, the stove, and the pot that I have, which I use the Stanley pot. And you can check out the review that I did on this in my other whatchamacallit videos. But altogether, starting out, my weight is under 2 pounds, which is really nice when you are starting off backpacking. Pounds, grams, ounces are usually something you want to watch because you are carrying the weight, and depending on how long you're carrying it for, you definitely want to look for things that are lesser in weight. Just to give you an example, I have 3 different lighters here. The lighter that I have is one of the Beaner lighters, so it does have a spark method onto it, so it is multi-purposing. This is one of the methods that I carry on me. I do have an electric lighter, which is nice to have, and then I also have another lighter. It is more electric too, but it's the same thing with the spark. You know, it sparks it and then lights it on fire. So all 3 of these have different weights. So this one is 0.5 ounces, this one is 0.8 ounces, and this one is 0.9 ounces. So even though the fire beaner is 0.9 ounces and heavier, it is multi-use. So most of the time I carry this with me regardless of the weight, but I'm not comfortable in utilizing this type of fire method at this time being. I'm starting to practice now, so I've been carrying an electric lighter. So for me, weight-wise, that's not really a concern considering all the other gear that I have. But starting out, it's completely up to you as to what fire method you want. But you do want to make sure in using a stove kit with a propane that you do have 2 different types of fire starting methods. So, I mean, I do have the spark and I have the electric lighter. You can do matches out there as well. So it's whatever you're comfortable with. Just make sure you do have different ways to start a fire. But with the kit, what you would do is you would take this stove and you would put it on your propane tank. And when you turn it on, it is this dial. So this dial you would actually turn on to start to release the gas. As the gas is released, what you would do is you would light it. Now, they do recommend that when you are first lighting it, you're going to turn this basically all the way up or halfway up, and then you're going to light it. So it is going to be not so much of a big flame, but it's going to be pretty big. What you're going to do then is you're going to dial it back down to either like a low flame or medium flame, whichever you feel is best. I usually dial it back down to a comfortability of like a little flame, enough for my Stanley pot, because when it's on here I don't really need a flame all the way around it. And when you're using a propane tank, it doesn't take long for water to boil. So you do want to watch your items closely when you're cooking them, because if you're cooking it straight in the pan, you do risk burning it super quick than a stove that you would at home. So I do recommend that if you are cooking anything in a pot and on one of these stove kits, that you just keep a close eye on it. Now I mainly use this for boiling water. I still cook more meals in a pack. So I would just primarily boil my water, and then from there I take my water and pour it into my meals. So it takes maybe 2-3 minutes tops to boil water using this method. So the MRS can be pricey. It depends on cost-wise and what you're looking for. I mean, it's been on the market for a while, so you can find these on multiple different sites with different prices. I know currently with some of the big store chains, this is running around $45 for this stove. There's also like more kits where you can get like pots and the propane tank and silverware utensils and things of that nature, all in one type package style, and that's going to be more expensive. But for the stove itself, it is ranging about $45 right now, is the most that I've seen it running. So you can find it cheaper on there. So this is an item, again, I recommend if you are in the beginner mode, and it's one that I've had with me since I started out. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, you can ask them down below and I'll be happy to answer them. And putting this away is pretty simple. So when it cools down, which it does cool down pretty fast, which is really nice, you would just close up those rings. You would flip up your nozzle here that helps turn it on. You would put it back into its carrying case. You'd put the lid on it. And then typically what I do is, how I store is my Stanley pot is big enough that I can throw this and my fire starting stuff into the pot. And I would pack it like that. So storing it and packing it is pretty simple. But that is the MSR kit. And thank you for watching. Bye.